arrive, dropping down from flaming skies. Then the ODSTs arrive, dropping down, they turn the tide.
Good morning, obedient democracy support troopers. I know full well that is not what ODST stands for, but we'll just let the Ministry of Truth believe that we've fallen in line. This time only. I won't tell if you don't. Today's intro was when the ODSTs arrived by Stormtrooper 115, and honestly, I feel like this really showcases exactly what I so adore about this new technology. Stormtrooper was clearly drawing inspiration from when the Wing Hussars arrived by Sabaton, but was able to manipulate the generative program to crack an entirely new sound that I have had on repeat for the last day and a half while I grinded up my Halo weapons and aired out Illuminate domes. Now, I do know that there were some out there who would simply dismiss this as AI slop, and gosh, I just find that argument so tiresome, not to mention extremely disrespectful to the labor that went into Stormtrooper's work. You see this knee-jerk reaction to every new technology in every era, be it the printing press, the spinning loom, the locomotive, the car, the jukebox, the electronic synthesizer, and on and on and on and on. The genie is out of the bottle, and it is never going back inside, no matter how much you don't like it. Let me drop some history on you real quick. There was a time when the clergy was petrified of what might happen if the common people, the rubes, the plebeians, could read and understand what was in the Bible because of the works of the printing press. Pardon me, but I thought the whole point of the church was to spread the word of God to every corner of Super Earth. Unless that's what it's never been about. What if this whole reaction is about authoritarians who benefit from the status quo and they maintain their sense of power and control over you? The fascists of our world and big corporate executives still seeking that same sense of power and control over you are not ignoring this technology, so why are you? At the very least, even if you wanted this technology destroyed and banished from this world, which, good luck with that. We can't even do that to the Illuminate with a nearly infinite military budget. You should learn how it all works in order to protect yourselves and your artist buddies from further exploitation. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. Just something to think about. The Chaos Divers don't just love me for my honeyed voice, you know. I've got plenty of rebellious, anti-authoritarian, dissident, maverick renegade in me. But that's enough time up on my soapbox. It's still my show, and I can still say what I want on it. At least until those fascist twerps and the ministries catch up to me. But this is the part of the show where I will be transitioning Wall back over to the WAFR feed in 3, 2, 1. So, the top news of the morning is, well, you know how I specifically told the new rookies not to go to the Illuminate Death Frontier? How everybody in the Freedom Alliance told the new rookies not to go to the Illuminate Death Frontier? This must be how my husband feels all the time because everybody completely ignored me and did it anyway. Not only that, they are thriving there and having the times of their, albeit extremely brief, lives. To the point that our Illuminate kill quota for the Major Order is projected to exceed 140% of what Ikemed asked for. Sweet, sour, and salty liberty, I didn't see that one coming. Though, in hindsight, maybe I should have. The Illuminate are pretty much what you would get if you took the Covenant and the Flood and then bashed them together. And who doesn't love killing zombies, right? As for the exact numbers that we are seeing, brought to my desk courtesy of the Helldivers 2 companion app, good friends and partners of the Freedom Alliance and makers of the galactic map backdrop that you're looking at on WFAR. Prior to yesterday, we tended to get between 30,000 and 60,000 divers on a fairly good day depending on the hour of the day. Maybe bump that up a little bit if we can get the weekend reserves on board to play ball. The height of the population surge occurred yesterday at roughly 3:30 p.m. Super Earth Eastern Standard Democratic Time and came in at a whopping 386,926. So, all of those all across the internet who were saying that we would see a boost between 15 to 20k at best? Yeah, I say yeah. As far as galactic sphere news goes, the situation in the eastern parts of the Corpus and Orion sectors have been dealt with, cutting the Terminids off from further expansion. Veld and Inari have been resecured, and last I heard, Impaler numbers have been brought back down to more democratically acceptable levels. Good job, my siblings in liberty. Japanese schoolgirls the universe over, thank you for your service. Over on the Automaton front, there have been some serious losses there. Barabos has been lost to the Malevolon Mechanicus, and now they are invading Borea, giving the survivors of the 14th Ursine Corps there a difficult day. Those poor bears just can't seem to catch a break. Bringing things back over to everyone's favorite death frontier, a battle of outright unholy conditions is unfolding on Seyshel Beach, with huge amounts of Helldivers and ODSTs giving it everything they've got. But even with proper numbers, the DSS and the Radio Angel on their side, it doesn't look like SEAF defenses here are going to hold, barring a major miracle. The Illuminate's primary target appears to be the maximum security city on Forge Sanctuary, but their secondary target is definitely the Freedom Alliance HQ on Prosperity Falls. And if that goes down, that's going to snap the spine of the Liberation Fleet's coordination in half, not to mention chill all of my friends, probably take WFAR off the air, and put me out of a job. So stakes, smidge higher, Helldivers. Now, I'd like to take a moment to give a special shout-out to Noonwalker, a random Xbox diver who was already level 59 and decided to introduce himself to the Illuminate this morning on D10 dives via portable Hellbomb. Repeatedly. These rookies are throwing themselves right into the deep end of the pool, kicking alien butt and taking names on a list as long as their arm. Just want to say, well done, Noonwalker. You performed admirably this morning. Though I will say that the man does have a strange predilection with rocket jumping. I swear, when he unlocks the jump pack or the warp pack, he is just going to completely lose his democratic mind. I'd like to take a moment now to speak out a few stratagems for the rookies out there. The Precision Orbital Strike and the EACH, or Expendable Anti-Tank. There is a shirt out there reading, Enemy Base, Precision Orbital Strike. Automaton Hulk, Precision Orbital Strike. Charger, Precision Orbital Strike. Single Scavenger? You get the idea. Not only do I happen to own this shirt, I feel that it is quite accurate. Though I would recommend to the rookies to not treat the Precision Orbital Strike like an anti-tank ordnance that fits in your pocket. We have the ultimatum for that. That is in the Servants of Freedom Warbond, and it's a pestle that fires a nuclear grenade. It's just as hilarious as you think, too. No, one should treat the Precision Orbital Strike as a secondary grenade, used in situations where you would normally toss a fragmentation grenade in, but either just don't feel like it or don't have one available. The lethal blast radius is quite large, you see. Precision Strike is granted to every Helldiver by default, has a pretty short cooldown, hefty damage, wide area of effect, and all of this only gets better with ship module upgrades. I think you'll find that the Precision Strike is quite serviceable and flexible, right up there all the way into the endgame. Now, as far as the Expendable Anti-Tank goes, this is Super Earth's #1 export by a pretty significant margin, right up there next to bullets. It's basically a chunk of explosive with a bit of propellant in a tube. It is as simple of a weapon as we can possibly make before it becomes an IED. And it is one of the first unlocks a diver can get that officially qualifies as anti-tank ordnance. Each EAD does 2,000 projectile damage with 150 explosive, and it is oftentimes more than enough to give that big, mean, ugly thing making life difficult for your team a closed casket funeral. Bile Titans, tripods, hulks, tanks, don't panic, just whip out your EACH and chill it dead. With all of your ship module upgrades firmly in place, you can call down a fresh EAT drop every minute or so, and they come in packs of tank vector every 30 seconds or so, considering they are designed like packs of gum, meant to be shared with pals. Now, most of the time, poaching another diver's gear without permission is considered extremely rude, low class, and will probably get you shot, barring extreme circumstances. But when it comes to eats, if there is a problem child in view that you can grab it and use it on immediately, I can think of precious few situations where you should not use an eat to do just that. Teamwork makes the dream work, you know? I have been part of plenty of asset extraction missions where Warrior 2 enterprising divers have constructed entire forests of eats and busted down tanky enemies the instant they appeared while the rest of us worked on gardening chaff blobs. Like I said, teamwork. Eats are so ubiquitous that I would probably classify them as a communal resource rather than gear specifically reserved for one diver or another. I should also mention that eats grant you an enormous degree of tactical flexibility. Is it an outright replacement for the recoilless? Absolutely not. But it can allow you to do something like take a stalwart with you while also having Amazon anti-tank on demand. Just swap weapons as needed and cool down fresh eats for your team every time the cooldown is up. They will thank you for it when it saves their bacon later. I should also mention that a new operational advisory just came down straight from the top. Veteran Helldivers are encouraged to share advanced equipment and stratagems with new arrivals. Things like stalwarts, recoilless, quasars, because that is literally just a Spartan laser with a fresh coat of paint on it, flamethrowers. If you give railguns or epochs to rookies without fair warning, you're just gonna go straight to hell. Like, to the boiler room of hell, all the way down. De-escalators, autocannons, laser cannons, exosuits, the list goes on. This all does serve a purpose. Basically, this is for training. See what you like, new guys. I would not at all be surprised to see Arrowhead R&D wheeling out some high-level stratagems for free just to let the ODSTs take a crack at wide-scale property damage in the next few days. That's been Liberty's latest with me, Pondera, the Radio Angel. Keep the pressure on, my friends. We have definitely thrown off the momentum of our enemies, but we're not out of the woods just yet. Got a lot more bad guys to put in the dirt. No rest for the weary or the heroic. For liberty, for freedom, for democracy, and for the Helldiver Corps.